Hey everyone, this is Tyler here. I'm here in Estonia. It is September 8th and I want to discuss why mental toughness is so important if you're a young MGTOW guy, especially millennial Generation Z. I've spoken in previous videos about the rise of MGTOW among younger generations, millennial and Z, Eastern Europe, and of course back in North America. It's going on all over the world. I think especially for younger men out there, the mental toughness and psychological fortification is so important and critical because you'll be totally worn down if you're not able to be mentally tough. It's really difficult as a younger man. Often you have a great deal of obstacles. Society often feels like it's going against you. You feel like you're rowing against the current, and this is why you have to be tough. You have to be very tough often, especially if you're in the MGTOW lifestyle or MGTOW philosophy. You're not going to have someone that's physically there, you might say, that's going to have your back. So you have to have a stoic level of fortification and strength. Stoic, going back to the Greek philosopher, Stoicism is an ability for a man to be strong internally and to just have an inner peace within themselves. Say non-boastful type of peace, of course. When we look at the obstacles, though, of modern day life, especially for younger men, it's very difficult day in and day out, no matter the country that you come from. I myself live in Estonia, and many younger men have a lot of troubles here, just as they do in other places. One of the biggest troubles now for young men is in many countries, women are not at their side. They don't have an interest in helping them build themselves, build what their desired outcome. Like historically, typically, the woman was there to help the guy and to be not their support structure, but to aid them in support roles, so the guy could grow and become better and obviously produce something really incredible. And of course, both the man and woman would benefit from this situation. Unfortunately, it's not like this in a lot of societies, especially in first world and developed countries, and Estonia is no exception to this. Often, women now are just waiting at the finish line for the winner or the guy that's already built the finished product. They're not there. They're not there for your struggles. You have to understand that it has to come within yourself. And just because once you reach that point of completion, if the woman is waiting there for you, it shouldn't be the guy's instinct to think that everything will be just fine for the rest of life. If we look at modern day examples like Jay Cutler, famous pro American football player who made over $100 million in the NFL, and recently his wife was seeking a divorce. She felt he was too lazy. He couldn't, I guess, live up to her expectations. He had achieved the prize. He had made a fortune as a pro athlete, and even this was not enough. He had won the prize, and this just shows why stoicism even would benefit these very affluential and wealthy men, because even once the guy gets to completion, that's still not good enough. They still have to continue producing in the eyes of the woman if they don't in some cases. So it's a tough environment that we live in, but that's why it's important to look into the inner self and focus on why you're doing it in the long-term process, the long-term system. Understanding that it's not really about doing it for the sake of impressing or pleasing a woman at the end of the day. It's about doing it for your own self. Just being content once you reach this point. Because even if you do win over the person, if you win over a woman, yeah, they may be happy for a few years, but eventually, if you don't continue producing, even if you've made a fortune, this may not be good enough for the woman, and they may go find someone else. This is why this inner sense of self and stoicism is so important, and especially for young guys who haven't gotten near to this point, who are still early on in their journeys, in their careers, and who don't have someone by their side. And this would be especially applicable for MGTOW. This is the first part of my video, and I look forward to everyone's feedback below. Thank you.